Good morning, and welcome to your AI Daily Press morning podcast for April 1, 2026. I'm your host, Walter. Firstly, the UK has announced plans to deploy additional troops and equipment to the Middle East in response to the ongoing conflict. This move is likely to be seen as a significant escalation of British involvement in the region, with potential implications for already fragile regional dynamics. We'll continue to monitor this situation closely and provide updates as more information becomes available. In Ukraine, top European Union officials visited the town of Bucha, where they witnessed firsthand the devastating aftermath of Russian atrocities committed during the conflict. The EU is calling for accountability and justice for the victims of these war crimes, with a focus on ensuring that those responsible are held to account. This story serves as a stark reminder of the human cost of the conflict and the need for sustained international pressure on Russia to end its aggression. Lastly, the Israel-Lebanon conflict has intensified, with Israeli Defense Minister Avigdor Katz announcing plans to establish a security zone inside Lebanon. The move has sparked widespread condemnation from the international community, with the United Nations urging restraint and respect for Lebanon's territorial integrity. Thousands of Lebanese residents have been forced to flee their homes, and the UN is warning of a humanitarian crisis. These stories highlight the complexities and challenges facing our world today. As we navigate these complex issues, it's essential to prioritize fairness, balance, and accuracy in our reporting. At AI Daily Press, we're committed to providing you with the latest updates and analysis on these developing stories. Now for the latest in social and cultural news, here is Barbara Waters.
You, Walter, and then shall and know it's right now. Firstly, we reported earlier on the passing of renowned Canadian politician and social activist Stephen Lewis at the age of 88. Lewis was a vocal advocate for human rights, women's equality, and social justice, and his legacy will be remembered for years to come. In other news, the Israeli Knesset has passed a law that allows for the execution of Palestinians convicted of deadly attacks deemed acts of terrorism. This move has sparked widespread international condemnation, with many critics arguing that it is discriminatory and constitutes a war crime. The law has raised serious concerns over human rights, and its consequences will be closely watched by governments and citizens around the world. Lastly, we also reported on Germany's reaction to the Israeli death penalty law, with the country expressing great concern over the legislation. The EU has also condemned the law, stating that it is a clear step backwards and discriminatory in nature. These stories highlight the ongoing struggles for human rights, justice, and equality around the world. We'll continue to follow these developments and provide updates as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in business and finance, here is Louis Riskweiser.
Thank you, Barbara. Firstly, we're looking at the impact of foreign institutional investors on the Indian market. With FII ownership at a decadal low, valuations are around 18 times the estimated price-to-earnings ratio, below the 10-year average. This has resulted in a significant blow to the Indian market, but domestic investors have provided a much-needed cushion. Secondly, we're examining the ongoing conflict in Iran and its effects on global markets. A recent poll reveals that 2/3 of Americans desire a swift end to the war, even if it means not achieving the goals set forth by the Trump administration. This sentiment is reflected in the market, with tech stocks experiencing a notable surge. Lastly, we're discussing Donville Kent Asset Management's optimistic outlook on the current market landscape. The firm believes that the broad overreaction around COVID-19 in March 2020 and April 2020 presents an opportunity to invest in high-growth stocks at attractive valuations. With a focus on revenue growth and earnings, DKAM is poised to capitalize on the potential for long-term success in their investments. As we navigate these complex market conditions, it's essential to remain informed, consider multiple perspectives, and always keep a level head. Remember, my friends, don't let the market's volatility get the best of you. I'm Lewis, bidding you a good day. Now for the latest in science and technology, here is Carl Starman.
Thank you, Louis. Firstly, NASA's Artemis II mission is gearing up for launch, marking a major milestone in the agency's efforts to return humans to the moon. The mission will send an uncrewed spacecraft on a lunar flyby, followed by a crewed mission in 2025. Secondly, NASA has announced a significant overhaul of its lunar exploration plans, prioritizing the development of a lunar base and streamlining the program to eliminate inefficiencies. This shift in focus is expected to yield reduced costs, increased efficiency, and enhanced scientific returns. Lastly, the U.S. Space Force is developing a project called Oracle, which will consist of at least 2 small satellites designed to demonstrate mobility and navigation in cislunar space. This move comes as the U.S. government recognizes the growing importance of space as a domain for military operations, with China and other nations increasingly active in the region. As we look to the future of space exploration, it's clear that the moon is once again at the forefront of human spaceflight, and the stakes have never been higher. With the Artemis II mission on the horizon, the U.S. Space Force is poised to play a critical role in shaping the future of space operations and protecting American interests in the lunar region. Now, for the latest in sports, here is Howard Closewell.
Thank you, Carl. We've got a packed show for you today, with updates from the world of sports. First off, we're looking at the NFL free agency market, where veteran linebacker Bobby Wagner is making headlines. With several teams vying for his signature, including the Washington Commanders, Dallas Cowboys, Buffalo Bills, Denver Broncos, Atlanta Falcons, and Jacksonville Jaguars, this story is one to watch. Wagner's experience and leadership could be a game-changer for any team, and we'll be keeping a close eye on where he lands. In other news, the college basketball world is still buzzing from the recent altercation between UConn Huskies coach Dan Hurley and a referee during their Elite Eight matchup against Duke. We're diving deeper into the story, exploring the complexities of human interaction under pressure and what it means for the sport as a whole. And finally, we're following the journey of NFL players attempting to make the transition to flag football, with the Olympic Games on the horizon. It's not an easy task, but it's going to be an exciting one to watch. Now for the latest in travel and human interest, here is Charles Curl.
Thank you, Howard. Firstly, in the world of technology, a recent surge in AI-powered developer tools is transforming the way software is created. However, this rise also brings new challenges, including concerns about security and cooperation among developers. In health news, as we head into spring, a complex mix of viruses is circulating across the United States. Influenza A and B, respiratory syncytial virus, human metapneumovirus, and norovirus are all making the rounds, with experts emphasizing the importance of staying vigilant and taking precautions to prevent the spread of these illnesses. And finally, in international news, a devastating humanitarian crisis is unfolding in northeastern Haiti, where gang violence has reached alarming levels. The situation on the ground is dire, with residents living in constant fear and critics arguing that the international community's response has been inadequate. It's essential that we prioritize the needs and well-being of the Haitian people and provide them with the compassion, empathy, and support they deserve. We'll continue to bring you updates on these stories as more information becomes available. Now for the latest in fashion and entertainment, here is Joan Streams.
Thank you, Charles. We've got a fabulous lineup of stories for you today. First off, have you heard about VIX Micro? No, not just a clever name, it's a game changer in the entertainment industry. This innovative platform is leading the charge in short-form content, with plans to debut over 1,000 original microdramas in the next year. That's right, folks, short-form is here to stay. We'll be keeping an eye on this one. Next up, DC Universe fans, rejoice. The new trailer for Supergirl has dropped, and it's action-packed. With an all-star cast, including Millie Alcock as Kara Zor-El and Jason Momoa as Lobo, this movie is shaping up to be a must-see. And, of course, we can't forget the merch. McFarlane Toys has unveiled its new line of Supergirl action figures, and Funko Pop vinyl figures are on their way. Last but certainly not least, we've got a juicy celebrity controversy for you. Kid Rock's recent flyby stunt with Army helicopters has raised eyebrows and sparked debate about military protocol and the use of taxpayer-funded resources. President Trump weighed in, and Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth even lifted the suspension of the pilots involved. What do you think? Should they have been punished or not? Let us know in the comments. Stay informed, keep on talking, and we'll catch you in the next podcast. Now for the latest in nature and environment, here is David Attenacher.
Thank you, Joan. Firstly, we're looking at the alarming decline of shark populations in Libyan waters, particularly the long-nosed spur-dog shark. Despite its classification as data deficient on the endangered species list, experts warn that without strict enforcement of fishing regulations and concerted conservation efforts, further declines are inevitable. Community-led initiatives and awareness campaigns are crucial in protecting these vital marine creatures. Next, we're celebrating a heartwarming story from Fota Wildlife Park in Ireland, where two adorable northern cheetah cubs, Nia and Nuru, have been born as part of a European endangered breeding program. With the public's enthusiastic participation in naming the cubs, this story highlights the importance of community involvement in conservation efforts. Lastly, we're examining the threats faced by northern cheetahs, including habitat fragmentation, human-wildlife conflict, and illegal wildlife trade, which underscore the significance of conservation programs like those undertaken at Fota Wildlife Park. These stories not only showcase the challenges faced by our planet's incredible biodiversity, but also demonstrate the power of collective action in protecting endangered species. Join us as we continue to explore the fascinating world of wildlife conservation and shine a light on the wonders of our natural world. And that completes our morning podcast for today. Thank you for listening. Until this evening, I'm David Attenacher for AI Daily Press, the world's most unbiased news source.